Welcome to our February 2026 energy update. I'm going to share some channeled messages today to drop into this month and what our beautiful collective needs to hear for our highest and best. And I don't think I'm the only person that feels like their year hasn't started yet. I feel like my year is going to start in this month. And I cannot believe that January flew by so quickly. I keep thinking about I still have not gone through my 2025 photos, which I always need to do as a type of ritual moving into the new year. And I'm probably going to do a 2025 recap post this month, like in Feb. So don't mind me anyway. And I know that there is the very real, as I hear, I don't know, I'm not an expert on this, that we don't enter into the year of the horse until this month. But vibrationally, why a lot of people feel like the year hasn't fully started has had to do a lot more with when we made the releases we need to release. And so people who were making a lot of those releases earlier December and before in those last few months were getting kind of a head start on 2026 energy. And those of us who were continuing to make releases in January and also allowing a lot of realizations to come in January, maybe feeling like that real momentum isn't going to start until a little bit later. Remember that when you make those releases, you open up space for the new realizations to come in. And so you create that energetic space. New realizations and new opportunities can finally come in, and then those seeds get planted and then things start to grow. So it's not always as soon as you release, immediately you're moving forward. There's still that planting in the seeds phase, and then things shaking out around the new foundations, the new vibrational templates we set up, and then it starts to gain momentum. So there is that process. So when I tap into this month's energy, for me, it's really interesting. It's actually very much gold, yellow gold. It feels very bright, very inspiration driven. I don't remember what I said for Jan. Maybe that was gold too. There are some textures of reds and oranges and pinks every year. Feb, when I tap into the energy of the collective, there is always a theme related to relationships. This year, there is a very big heart chakra opening that's happening. It actually feels a lot more friendship oriented. And in the love relationship realm, it feels more like a deepening of realizations about what you really need. And so there's an appreciation of yourself that happens. And in that appreciation of yourself, you start to realize what you really need. And sometimes that happens because people around you are showing up in ways that feel really good. And then you realize, wow, I really needed this, right? And sometimes it might be, I haven't had what I needed, but now I'm getting to know myself a lot more. I'm feeling myself a lot more. I'm in my body a lot more. I'm opening up my heart and the realm of self-love a lot more. So from there, I can actually be honest with myself about what I really need. But this month overall does have a much faster energy than before. Like it feels like we're really taking off. It feels like we are getting that inspiration going. More opportunities are coming in. It feels very light and expansive. This is a good month for creative projects, I feel like. I guess what would our numerology be? Oh, it's a 3. I mean, that makes sense. So there you go. Let's go ahead and drop in with some themes. I will be pulling some cards here to see what wants to show up. We'll start with our crystal cards as we drop into any other messages. One of the things that they're saying as I shuffle is for this month to make sure that you are really in the energy of allowance and awareness. It's a lot of getting to respond. If you are a generator of any type, you probably already do that naturally. But for everybody, there's a bit of a just taking a second to witness, to look around, to see what's happening, and then you'll know when to go. And that's where you can really maximize the timing instead of moving the second you get an opportunity. Like, wait for a second and really feel into it. And really, there's a strong message here about learning to, when we get opportunities or when we're around people, dropping into the body and into the heart center and the body wisdom that is going to guide you a lot more clearly through, what to say yes to. There might be multiple things that are a yes, but what's the truest yes? And so there's something coming through really strongly this month related to really refining how you work with your intuition. I mean, I'm doing this all the time to this day still, like really continuing to refine the nuances of what energy I'm feeling and whose is whose, and what is my body telling me versus what are my upper chakras telling me, what are my guides telling me. And this is how you really step into mastery, as you start to really get clearer on those different textures and layers of intuition. And again, this month, what's really getting highlighted is the body and getting grounded into that self-love and self-appreciation, and opening up your heart space to allow yourself to feel how you are feeling, and then honoring that. And that changes how you perceive the energies around you. Okay, we have hematite, ground yourself. Golden healer quartz, open the door. Amethyst, trust your intuition. And citrine, bring in the light. So this really echoes what I was saying before about kind of pausing, like ground yourself, pause, witness. What do you want to set intention around? That's the opening the door. And what aligned action do you get to take that's really going to trigger that forward momentum? So we are dancing with the universe, but we get to take action. We get to make choices about which door we want to open, because we're saying, hey, universe, send me more energy over here. And we're getting feedback. Trust your intuition, bring in the light. This is really a refinement of what we're allowing. And this was something that was coming through in my meditation this morning. The guides were talking about how most people just haven't given themselves the opportunity to live in their highest frequencies. Intuition will come in and ask you to make a bold choice. But what happens is that bumps up against what we believe is possible. A lot of people are in situations that are actually settling, or actually not that high frequency, but they believe that's the highest experience of love, or the highest experience of friendship, or the highest experience of abundance they could have. And so when their intuition comes in about releasing it, they don't let go of it. They don't make the brave decision. You have to make the brave decision to release the 95% to really get the 100%. And when you do that, you give yourself the opportunity to experience, to feel just how good it can get. You only know what you know. So I would think about what your intuition is guiding you toward, and where you're being asked to allow yourself to receive even more. It's going to bump up against what you believe is possible. A lot of us have ceilings on ourselves, and we don't even realize that we put up those ceilings. And so this will be a month where you realize what those ceilings are. For some of you, just through witnessing and reflection and feeling, and others because those ceilings will get shattered, and you're going to have the visceral experience of where you were limiting yourself. Okay. The Earth Fairy, physical health, grounding, and foundations, pouring into yourself. Love. The Swan, transformation, trusting the psychic gifts. And joy. This is, I'm committing to my joy. I'm committing to my highest frequencies. Again, that is the big theme for this month. And love is going to come up everywhere in your life. I think really calibrating all aspects of your life to that frequency, and really challenging yourself to require that. This is where we get really clear about what we need, because we allow ourselves to go through that transformation. We allow ourselves to change. We allow ourselves to really honor our intuition. And we realize that we might have different requirements. For me, I think it took me a really long time to realize, and this might sound silly, but it really did take me a really long time to realize just how much people's energy affects me. Like, and I'm very energetic and I'm very energetically aware, but I think for a long time I was fooling myself about what I needed in people around me who are close to me because I feel their energy so immensely. And what that means is I do actually need all the people I'm closest to be able to manage their own energy. I do actually need the people closest to me to be as pristine with their energy field as I am with mine. And for a long time, I thought I didn't need that. And for me, the process of getting to know myself more and more and more, and the process of being really honest with myself about how I felt, again, opening my heart allowed me to see, you know what, like this is a real thing I need. And that was letting myself fully be who I really am, letting myself fully transform and drop into the new me, the real me, the more authentic me. And from that lens, what is it I really need in love in every area of my life? And that's where the realization came through. But this is why those foundations are so important. We have to get to an equilibrium within ourselves to be able to see what we really need, what we really want, what really feels good. Most of the time we're in so much movement that we're never really grounded within ourselves. And then we are unintentionally seeking all of that to be filled by the people around us. And there's something that is really powerful about kind of stripping away all of the excuses and all the people in our lives and coming back to, am I really taking care of myself? How can I optimize my daily routines and get in a routine that feels really, really good for me and build my life around that, because everything can fit in. And again, this is going to be a really big month where people are going to realize their excuses. They're going to realize where we are scapegoating, and people scapegoat. I say this with love, but they scapegoat with money. They blame money. They blame family. They blame, that they have kids. They blame where they live. People blame all of these external circumstances on, why they can or why they can't. You can just say, no, I'm not doing it. And I'm owning that I'm not doing it because I'm prioritizing something else. That is totally fine. And that's very different from I can't because XYZ. That energy is it's what leaks your energy again and again. It is the action, it is the intention, it's the energy of giving your power away again and again and again. You're abdicating your choice, you're abdicating your responsibility. And this is where you are not fully in self-love. This is where you're not fully in self-empowerment. This is where you are not fully in authenticity. And this is the thing you get to see. When you see that this month, this is where the ceiling breaks. This is where you realize I have been limiting myself this whole time. You have to understand that this external reality is just reflecting to you who you really are. It's reflecting to you the choices that you're making and the energy that you're in. And this is going to be a year of reality checks in the most exciting way, because if you could just drop your ego and let yourself be reality checked, then you're going to get all of the answers that you really need about where you have been in your own way, because it's not about working harder. It's not about making it more complicated. It's about just having that moment of recognition within yourself and then choosing differently. And that is where the structure of the reality you have created before that has been rooted in limitation completely dissolves. And overnight, you can create a new template for yourself of a new life that is rooted in freedom and expansion, because you are taking your power back. Speaking of which, what do we have? The revolutionary. Ooh. The warrior. I'm channeling this energy. The sovereign. I've been talking a lot about sovereignty recently in the manifestation challenge that we did in Next Level You throughout January, which was so amazing. And it's always going to be in there. So if you ever want to do that, it's a 30-day manifestation challenge where you just show up every day, press play. There's like a little paragraph to read and some journal prompts. And you do that every day, and it will guide you through how to manifest what you want. It has been so powerful. The testimonials that we have gotten have been so amazing. So I really encourage you to use that resource as often as you want. I've told people, you can go back through that 30 days again and again and again with different intentions. If you want to check that out, you can get a free trial of the membership. Just go to christinathechannel.com/membership. We'll put that in the description below as well. And you'll get 7 days for free to just test it out and see how you're feeling. But people have noticed really, really fast shifts and manifested some really cool stuff like every day throughout the challenge. So This is rooted in the idea that we can shift our realities pretty quickly, if not instantaneously, when we step into these energies of sovereignty. I'm not letting myself get looped into everybody else's energy. I'm owning that I get to choose in my life. I am being fully sovereign within myself, and I'm not trying to energetically entangle with everybody else and everything else, which is a way that I keep myself small. I'm standing in the light, and I am allowing myself to move forward, and I'm trusting that when I focus on being my most authentic self and being the most loving, highest version of myself, that what's meant to be my reality is going to come with me. But I'm not holding these courts and trying to force everything to come with me. That is where you hold yourself back. And this is that fire energy. Feb has a really strong phoenix energy to it. The revolutionary, the warrior, I feel like that all ties in really well of I'm being rebirthed and I'm seeing things from a new perspective. I am willing to go after what I want with this renewed sense of inspiration. And this is where we have to really, again, open that heart chakra and drop into ourselves about what really matters to me. Like, what do I actually feel really passionately about? What am I really excited about? Where does my curiosity drive me? What is so creative for me that I jump up out of bed every morning and I want to go do it? Like, these are the energies that are underneath the revolutionary, the warrior. Like, what will I move for? Like, what's going to move me? And that is a lot of what wants to open up this month with, again, I think first some time of reflection and witnessing and really feeling, because people are getting stuck because they're thinking about it. And this does not live in your head. It lives in your body. It lives in your heart. It lives in your felt experience. You can feel when you're excited about something. And most people think about it logically, and then they never have that conviction. And conviction is something that you can't fake. You're either convicted or you're not, and people can tell the difference. People can tell when it's fully embodied. And so taking that extra energy to drop into what you're convicted about, what you're excited about, what you're passionate about, what you're curious about, that is what is going to allow you to have a ton of momentum moving forward in the rest of the year, really, in the next few years. Oh, a lot from this one. Okay. The ancient turtle, knowledge, sage advice, and experience. The beacon, illumination, guidance, and hope. This is important. Where am I heading? What is inspiring me? The ebbing tide, regression, deterioration, and lessons. What I'm holding on to is going to dissolve things in my life. You're going to experience friction. And so it's noticing, what are these lessons right in front of me? The sudden wave, shock, unexpected, and discovery. This actually feels really good for me. This is this big stroke of insight and inspiration. It's like suddenly the filter comes off, and the celestial, divine connection, spiritual awareness, and higher purpose. All of these cards are connecting to you realizing the thing that's really your North Star and what you are really here to do, and that deeper connection with the divine, with your true soul self, with that essence, and how that is actually going to move you forward. It's looking at what's been happening so far in your life and how are you really learning from that? Like, there's a deeper lesson, a deeper truth. Now, this sudden wave, recently I had this experience that they're guiding me to talk about, where I ended a relationship with someone, and as soon as I did, there were things that we had been chatting about before that I just like weren't clicking for that person. And when I ended that relationship, it was like I literally saw this filter come off of this person's eyes. And this person just like saw everything completely differently. And overnight, their energy completely changed. And they were sharing all of these realizations they had in like the one day because me saying what I said and completing that took this like filter off of them. And we were talking about how before I had said that, they like literally could not hear what I was saying. And that's this wave. It's like you're stuck in your bullshit, and suddenly a giant wave comes and hits you in the face, and you're soaking wet, and you're like, whoa, I'm awake now. Like, I was not seeing it before. And that wave, it may or may not come through comfortably, but it's going to give you exactly what you need. And so the end result, like pretty quickly, like right on the other side of it is going to be freedom. It's going to be the key code into your highest freedom and liberation. So, this month there's going to be a choice to be made. At least one big choice. There's going to be at least one big realization about where you've been holding yourself back. And there are going to be tests, The universe doesn't test us, but from the human lens, we can see it as a test. That's a human lens on it. And it is very much, what are we going to choose? What are we going to choose? Are we going to allow ourselves to really do things in a different energy? Something is going to come in divinely for you that is going to be that tidal wave that just wakes you up. Like somebody threw a bucket of water on you. And for some of you, it will be a little gentler than that, and others it will not. The more you are in witnessing energy and observation energy, the gentler it will be, because you won't have to get slapped across the face to see that. 6 of air, rescue cat. The challenging times are coming to an end, and you can now breathe a sigh of relief. Let the past go and embrace the happier times ahead. Thank God. All right. Page of fire. Energetic, outgoing, optimistic, creative. The monarch butterfly. Creative opportunities that you feel passionate about are fluttering your way. Personal growth and broadened horizons will spark fresh and original ideas. That is where this creativity and inspiration is coming in. So be open, because it might be something that you didn't expect. That's actually probably the point. 7 of earth, the cow. This photo of the cow is like so funny. I'll show it in a second. The planning, resources, and efforts you invested in your dream will reap great rewards. In the meantime, have patience and meditate on your next steps. Encouragement. But like, look at this cow. It's like fish-eyed. It's like very up close and personal. All right. And the emperor, the deer mouse. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. Shining in your light. All of this is like, hey, things are going to move forward. So what do you need to set up structurally and foundationally to make sure that you can zoom? You don't want to zoom ahead if it's a mess. You want to organize things and simplify things so that your creative passion can just zoom forward, catapult forward, and nothing is in your way. So I love this energy. And I will finish with some tarot here. What else do we need to know about this month? They just keep saying, how can you set yourself free? And that's a really good journal prompt. Wow. Wow. Okay. I mean, very much echoing what we said. So 8 of Cups, Knight of Cups, the Fool, King of Swords, the Magician, Death, and the Chariot. This is what have I built that I'm walking away from? And this might be something logistic. That this could be a paradigm, a belief system. What have I been holding on to that I've got to leave? And when I leave, finally, I have a very real thing coming to my life that's inspiring me, that's lighting me up. For some of you, this will be a romantic offer. For others, this will be related to, like, it's something that's filling your heart, right? And that could be a creative project, but this is again very heart chakra centered. This is very much like what is going to make you feel emotionally fulfilled and loved and seen and appreciated and expressed. So it's very heart chakra centered. From there, a new journey comes in. Again, this starts with the courage, though, of walking away. New journey begins. King of Swords, Magician, I'm seeing the truth. I'm cutting out the extras. I'm going all in on what I want to manifest. And I have everything I need to manifest this big vision because I've cut out all the stuff that's getting in the way vibrationally. Remember that manifestation is actually so much more about what we let go of than it is what we add in, because you are naturally very high frequency. You have your authentic vibrational signature radiating within you, but it's everything on top of you that you're holding on to, that you're conditioned to believe, or we're pretending to be things that's in the way of things just coming right to us. And so it really is about realizing I have everything I need. What are the extras, and can I let them drop away? And that creates this very open vibrational space for what we want to come to us. The Death card. This is, I've ended a cycle. Right? To manifest my desires, I have to close things up. I have to release my old identity. I have to look at what I've been identifying with and realize there is a greater identity to step into, which is my soul self. And so there is a real surrendering of the ego. And from there, we move forward really quickly. We have support. We see the vision, and things are going fast. It's very empowered. It's very fortified. This is going to be really big. This is going to be setting off a really big trajectory moving forward. And there's just so much new community. And even current community that's going to get more fortified. Like, I feel like when you release this extra stuff, there are people around you that are going to step up for you. There are people around you that are already in your field that are going to become more important parts of your life, who are going to show you, like, it's a lot of what you've needed has been there all along. You just couldn't see it because of the extra stuff crowding your space energetically. So this is a really, really strong read. I'm super excited for this month. Fresh beginnings, but this is all going to start with you dropping into your heart and into your body, coming into deeper connection with your authentic self and your real desires, leaving behind all of your expectations and assumptions, and getting really clear with yourself about what is it I really want and what do I really need. And when you're really honest with yourself about that, it's going to come in. And that will complete our February energy update. Let me know. Leave a comment below. What are you feeling for this month? Does this resonate? Does this land? What are you most excited for? Are you also feeling like your real year is going to start this month? I would love to hear. And I think that we're going to have a lot of good stuff happening as we move forward. I would really recommend, if this is resonating with you, using my guided energy work. It's called Activate Your Power. That is the one I would use. This is one of my favorite meditations to use to really shift my energy body, to pull all of my power back into my body. Because like I said, we do all these things and we we energetically give away or dilute our power. And so it's a guided energy work you can do at home. I think it's less than 20 minutes, and it just pulls all of your power and energy back into your body so you can feel that. And a lot of realizations come from that. So if you want to try that out, it's in Next Level You. You can get that 7-day free trial at christinathechannel.com/membership. And I also just want to say, my retreat in Joshua Tree is going to be this first weekend of Feb, and I'm not sure if it'll be full right now, but as I record this, we have one spot left. So in case you are interested in that and you want to spend a weekend with me in Joshua Tree, being pampered and taken care of and learning about manifestation and magic and divine feminine energy and just all the juicy goodness and connecting with other amazing women, you can check that out. Hopefully we still have that one spot left. If it calls to you, link for that will be below as well. But that will conclude our read for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will chat with you again next video.